So this week on Chapters Over Coffee, we go over pages 100 through 150, which I had wrong in the last episode. I had the wrong pages completely. And let's just say some things happened, so let's get into it. In the first chapter, Isla reflects that she and all of Nightshade won't survive the storm season unless she finds a way to extend her life long enough to change her fate. She's angry because her life was finally hers and now she was on borrowed time. Isla was now lonelier than ever out of necessity. She didn't want to think about the fact that Grim knew all of her favorite foods that and had the attendants bring them to her, which I thought was like really, really sweet of him to do that because like he knows her.
Yeah.
She wanted to go to the room Graham was staying in to seek comfort, but her heart was already confused. What she really wanted was a friend and a home. She was remembering the carving of the augure's wall and how she was wearing the serpent around her wrist that she borrowed from Ren. To her, it felt familiar, it felt right. And I think that picture is going to play a big part later on.
I
Turning
had
a
almost,
corner. Go ahead.
sorry,
No, no, no.
I almost had like half a thought that maybe it wasn't actually her, but with the way that the story is going, it, I mean, they're 100% positive that it's her. Like, I had thought maybe it was somebody we haven't met yet, but
Maybe it
might
is
be meeting later on, and they think that it's her,
because
but
it looks like her.
yeah.
And maybe it is. Turning a corner, she hit something solid. She was pressed up against the wall, but before she could get her blade, her hands were pinned to her side. That's when Grim makes himself visible to her, and Isla was grateful that she scrubbed all the blood off of her and her clothes. And he was being like the little creep he was. But where was he coming from or going? Like, that's like, and I know, like, she asked him if he was following her, and he said always, but was he truly following her, or was he out doing something else?
See, he's got secrets. I think he was out doing something else. I don't think he was following her because if he knew what she was fucking doing,
He does bring it
because
up, though, later on.
he does, like, he knows where she went, but like he doesn't actually like come out and tell her like, I know what you're doing. So, I don't know. I think if he knew, he'd be like, Isla, girl, you gotta fucking stop. Like, have you not learned from times in the past that if you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna fuck around, you're gonna find out? How many times did
Right.
he save her when she went out and stuff? Like, she's gonna fuck around and find out.
Right. The closer Grim got to her, the more Isla wanted him to bridge the gap between them. She wanted any comfort he could offer her. Now, with everything fallen apart, but Grim points out that Isla has been avoiding him. She tries playing it off as trying to get information about the portal. He knew something was wrong with her because he sensed her sadness. When she didn't answer, he took them to the kitchen and started preparing something. What surprised Isla was that Grim knew how to cook. Man can do everything. Like, it shouldn't be surprising. He learned it during his training that he often found himself alone, and if he wanted to eat, he needed to cook. As Isla was watching Grim make whatever he was making, she could picture it. As Grim poured what he made into a mug, Isla could smell it. When they met eyes, he smiled at her excitement like he treasured it. Then we get a moment between them, and I loved this part. They were both holding the mug and bringing it to her lips. And then Isla had some chocolate on her lip that Grim started to wipe away, turning them both on at the same time. And I hate, like, I loved this whole like interaction between them, but I hate later on, like, pick one. Just pick one. Like, quit leading them both on. Just pick one.
Yeah.
Isla had some chocolate on her lip that Grim started to wipe away, turning them. Oh wait, I already read that part.
Is that
Whoops.
you can read it again? I mean, like, it's a spicy moment.
Oh no. So when Grim says he missed some, Isla tells him to get it, but stops him from using his thumb. She wanted him to either kiss her or lick it off of her.
Girl.
So tracing her lip with his tongue, then taking the bottom in between his teeth, Grim has Isla wanting him. She wanted him to lift her up onto the counter and drag his tongue over the rest of her skin. But instead, she thanks him for the chocolate and went to bed alone. Okay, okay, Oro. Like, she completely pulled an Oro moment right there. Because that's the
Yes,
same
she
thing
did.
he did to her.
Just put him out of his misery, girl. Just fucking put
Yes.
him out of
Okay.
his misery.
Okay, so later on, Isla's back in her room and she had
A little
awoken to the
slower.
sound of, oh, I know, to boots. Oh, I wrote bots. Boots scraping on the floor. He got what he
You
deserved.
said
I
butts
can.
scraping on the floor?
I said bots. I thought I wrote bots instead of boots.
You said butts. I was like, "Oh, that's a huge difference. That's a far cry from some boots. The butts scraping on the floor."
um,
Okay, my listening
before
ears
she,
are on.
before she could move her muscles, all of her muscles were turned to stone before she could move them. Tynan.
And
I don't
then
remember how we decided to pronounce his name. Ty. Let's call him Ty.
works for me.
Was
He
in.
doesn't last long anyways.
Oh no, he got what he deserved. Okay. He was in her room stating that it was true. The ruler does not sleep with her. Okay, just because Grim's not in the room doesn't mean anything. He could be on his nightly strolls that he likes to be invisible. You're not gonna
Yeah?
know. You're not gonna know where he's at. Then again, he came pretty quick, so who's to say he wasn't like invisible in the room?
Yeah.
I just thought, I like, why didn't I think of that earlier? But like, yeah, he's probably already invisible in the room and wanted to see what was gonna happen. He tells her that she's a distraction to Grim and is the enemy, that the ruler has gone weak because of her. Once she's gone, they will invade Lightlark and finish what they started. He then proceeds to tell her that the necklace is only released after death and he'll just have to kill her. Grim may not have been in her room, but Lynx was. Gotta love Lynx. He had made a gash on the side of Ty's neck, and then while he was thrashing on the floor and Isla was getting her bearings back, Grim showed up. And this is why I think maybe he was invisible, stayed in the corner, because you know how he liked to creep in the corners when they first met and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was not happy at all. He was shaking and voice laced with pure fury, said, "My wife, you dare threaten my wife?" Grim then tells him that he was going to enjoy killing him, but Isla wanted to do it herself. He was injured and couldn't use his ability on her, and she was no longer frozen. Taking the dagger from her thigh, she plunges it in his heart, and then something inside of her sung. With horror and fascination, Isla realized that taking it felt good. And this is why she's she's no good for Oro. Like, this
No.
side of her is not gonna work with Oro at all. Oro's not gonna like this side of her. He's gonna want her to hide it. Like, and Grim's gonna let her be who she wants to be.
Well, even I mean, jumping ahead a little bit, he kind of like he doubts it, but like I think he also like he's torn because he doesn't want to believe it. He doesn't want to believe that that's the person that he fell in love with, but at the same time, it's like
She
he
is
can
who
tell
she
she's
is.
different. Yeah.
And like she's part nightshade, so she's got that darker side to her that you don't want to see. And it's not gonna work in the long run because then she's gonna feel like that she has to hide half of her, especially when she's around him and his friends and like everybody else. But
Yeah.
with Grim, she can kind of thrive and be all of herself. Isla wanted to send a message to the Nightshade people because Ty would not be the only one who wanted her dead. So they're in like this big meeting, I'm assuming is what it is. She wore a black dress with thin straps and a plunging neckline. Thin, poisonous snakes were curled around her waist, two more wrapped around each of her arms, and one around her neck like a necklace. But the looks of horror were not about the snakes. No, it was the fact that she was carrying Ty's head, which she then proceeded to toss at Grimm's feet. And
Not even just,
all
like
she says, yeah. Well,
she's just, like, holding him by his hair, like, not
I
even,
like
like,
saw
holding it,
it.
like, just, like
I saw it like picture it as her like dragging the body, but without the body, like just to her
yeah,
side. And that's like
yeah,
how I pictured that.
like, gripping it by his hair, just
Yeah,
full
but
on
it's like
savage.
nonchalant next to her, like a bag, like she's just carrying a
Yeah,
bag at her side. That's how I
yep.
pictured it. And when I read the words eat it, because she tossed it at Grimm's feet before it was implied of who she was telling to, I'm like, did she just tell Grimm to eat it? Like, I thought she was telling him.
You too.
Well, like, in a sense, he could have used his shadows. So, like, but no, she was telling her snakes to eat it. And here I'm thinking it was Grimm. And it was
Well, and the way that
pretty.
it's said and stuff, you kinda don't get that context at first. It just says that she reaches his throne and, like, throws it at his feet, and then,
It's eat it.
like yeah.
I didn't go into detail about how the snakes devoured him, but he like excuse me, the head, but they ate everything but the bones.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything but the bones. But after the snakes had devoured his whole head, Isla turns to the crowd and says, like the queen she is, if anyone wants me dead, you know where to find me.
Yes,
And
girl.
she walked out like a boss.
Yeah, she did. I would've probably, like, vomited right in the hallway after leaving. I mean, that was quite a show to put on.
Yeah. Um, well, people were vomiting. Like somebody fainted and yeah, I couldn't watch it. That's gross. And then we get a little moment between her and Astria. So while she was brushing Link, that's how we decide to pronounce her name, right? Astria. That's how it's kind of
Yeah.
spelled. Um, so while she was brushing Link's, Astria had visited her, telling her that Ty did deserve it because he found plenty of excuses not to wear his gloves when he was supposed to. So then they get this little moment between each other. Like Isla had asked her how long she had known they were blood. Grimm had told her before they got married, and after Astria suggested that Isla might be a spy and consider putting her head on a pike. And then we get the little thing where Astria kind of opened up about searching for Isla's father. So she had searched the Newlands with Grimm in case he was alive, but when too much time passed, she grieved him and she considered him like a brother. She couldn't understand why he made his choice, why he had chosen her, Isla's mother. And I kind of want backstory on that. Like, I want that backstory about her parents. How did they meet? Like, on his search for the sword.
Yeah.
And then, now
I
that
mean,
she
like, did he
knows,
stumble upon her the way that Isla
yeah,
kinda stumbled into Nightshade, and
right.
then it was just an
Like,
epic love story
was
for
it
them?
was it love at first sight? Like, for him to just up and stay?
Yeah.
Like, I want a little bit more, like, history. Maybe we'll get that because Lynx likes to show her um scenes and stuff. So maybe we'll kind of get that. But now that Astria knows he didn't die but left, she can't respect his decision. Isla understands or understood Astria's thinking because she knew what it was like to choose her heart over her duty. And then Isla brings up the point that her father stole the sword to keep it from Grimm. But my thing is, was it stated that he actually found it? I don't think it was stated that he ever found it. Because for as long as they know, it was the thief had it for a while. But it was never stated that her father had actually found the sword.
Think it was ever stated that he found it. I thought that he just
He was searching for it.
yeah.
And I know, like, Grimm said that he was betrayed, but I don't think it was.
So okay, so then
Maybe
did
that
did
was.
he betray him and then the thief got a hold of it and then it ended up with
Oh,
like whoever stole it from the thief and put it in the cave?
that's a good point. Because I don't think it was outright stated, though, that they had, like, he had found it and stole it from
Yeah.
Grimm. But, Ashura didn't want to believe it because, in a sense, I believe she didn't want to believe it because she said that even if that was true, it wasn't his call to make. They serve their rulers, their word is the law. So, that could also be the betrayal. Ashura states that Isla has her father's frown, but everything else she must have gotten from her mother. And she does not like her mom. Ashura does not like her at all.
No, she stole her person away, I guess, essentially,
Her
like
only family, because we do learn
yes.
that neither one of them have any more family, but they had each other. And Ashura jokes around about like it was better than not having anything at all. Even though she's still like suspicious of Isla and stuff, like she doesn't fully trust her, and but she did say that it was better than not having anything.
Yeah.
And then we go for another day, pass by, no storm yet. But Isla was getting restless, so she takes Lynx and she visits the wildly Newlands. She wanted to feel a sense of home and grab some of her old knives. And editing one of like the past, like actually it was the episode I just uploaded at the end of book 2. You were talking about that the feather had nothing, like it was just there and then it was gone. Well,
Yeah.
we find out as Isla's in her room, she's grabbing some of like her old daggers out of her vanity, and then she drops one because the piece of parchment before her with the feather on top that Isla had written on weeks ago now had the words "Hello, Isla," but it was written in Aurora's handwriting. We had a whole Harry Potter moment
Horcrux.
of
It's a fucking horcrux.
it's like him and Tom Riddle talking back and forth to each other, and now we got Isla and possibly Aurora because it's her handwriting.
Which is
And
fucking
that's,
scary because I had a feeling we weren't done with her.
but is it
So I'm
her?
interested to see where this might go.
Is it
Ooh.
her? Is it her?
What if it's the other one?
Exactly.
Sorry. Spoilers, can't tell you who.
Thanks to your husband
I
who
know. I'm
ruined
still
it.
pissed about still pissed
And
about that.
well, excuse me, he ruined it for you. You ruined it to
Oh,
me
I'm
because you
sorry.
told me.
Listen, if I have to know, you have to know because it's like some shit's about to go
I
down.
mean, I guess I did ruin to you that I accidentally seen somebody talk about Isla being Grimm's
I'm being
wife,
married.
and
Yeah.
you were so like
Yeah.
curious to what I knew.
But I brought that on myself though with wanting to know. I just put it upon you to make you know what I know cuz I can't know something you don't know.
But we haven't gotten there yet. So
No.
we haven't gotten to that person yet. And we're not going to confirm if it's a female or a male. So just this no name person that sometime comes further in the book.
Yes.
All right, so going into the next chapter, we're going to find more about, excuse me, about this feather because Isla knew Aurora's handwriting hundreds of times, or she had seen it hundreds of times. So she runs to her hiding spot to find one of the last volumes her and Celeste read together, comparing the handwriting. Um, and it was the same. It matched. Um, what did I write? Oh.
Ah, I love when that
Okay.
happens.
So underneath, I put writing beneath the words written. So what I meant was like underneath the hello Isla, Isla then asked how it was possible. So she was like responding to that person. But as she waited, the feather eventually starts writing back, all that is buried eventually rises. She believed it was a trick and a faulty enchantment, but only one person would know. So she goes and visits Baron, our blacksmith, and asked him if he has ever created something that allows one to speak with the dead. He explains that he she explains that she watched it write a sentence, but Baron states that Isla's power had awoken the feathers. So because her blood is power and her bracelets, because she assumed that the bracelets would prevent it from happening, the bracelets won't change that because her blood is power. And that brings me back to like last week's episode. Like she is she's got power. Like there's something unique in that she is full power. So something was special with her parents in order for her to be the way she is. And I wonder if though if it has something to do with her ancestors, Lark Crown, because she was one of like the creators. So I wonder though if it was like just like passed down in her blood. But Baron did state that it was not his creation, but he does state that there is a shred of soul stored within it. So whose soul is in this feather? And it's
It even states it's from the other world. So who is still alive in the other world that it could be?
and how did Aurora get it? We haven't found that out yet. Or did Aurora put part of her soul into this feather? And that's how, so that way if she did ever die, she's not fully gone. So we don't know that. So we'll have to keep that in mind and see if like we learn anything about that. The blacksmith does tell her to look at the tip because it is not of this world. Excuse me, it is from the other world. He knows because that is where he is from. But he's not able to tell her anything about it because the more time he spends where he's at, the more the other world is forgotten. He doesn't even remember the name. But many objects from there were destroyed over the millennia or stripped of their enchantment by the blacksmith. He was given orders to do that. So somebody didn't want them around anymore. But he doesn't say who. He just had orders to strip them. But he then hands her an orb that she can use to tell what is shade made or what is worldly. And then as Isla kept trying to reassure herself that Celeste no longer exists, Lynx gave her memories of her mother laughing and spinning in a circle, making flowers bloom. Isla's old room, which looked completely different than what it does now. And then this made her like wonder if her mom had a flare. But she didn't see anything out of the ordinary, so she wasn't for sure if her mom even had one. And then Lynx gives her memories of Oro, allowing her to watch their first kiss. And she felt that happiness, like she was there, reliving it again. And then they stop outside of the stables where Grim was washing Wraith's scales. She was surprised Grim didn't have someone else do it, but Wraith only allows Grim. I think that's cute. He Wraith gives off toothless vibes.
He
Like
does.
that playful dragon. Like he gives off toothless vibes. She asked Grim how he planned to wash Wraith off, but instead of telling her, he asked if she would like to see for herself. So, taking the small ride on the back of Wraith, when he starts to tilt towards the ground, plunging into a pond. And then we get another little moment between her and Grim, where she pushes him off Wraith's back, and then he uses his shadows to like pull her off. And then he starts pulling out her blades out of the slits in her clothes, and he asks her how many blades does one person need, and her response I thought was gold because she said several when you're married to a demon. So we're back to calling him a demon. This pond was a rare pocket of beauty on Nightshade. And then they go into during this interaction, like she tells Grim that the storm is taking too long, that there must be another way to find the portal, but Grim has been talking to surviving elders, but none speak of a portal, as well as flying over every inch of Nightshade, but hasn't felt a whisper of his portaling power. And I don't think he's going to. I honestly don't think he's going to find this portal because it's another world. I don't think it
Think it
has
has
anything.
anything to well, I don't think it has anything to do with his power either, but I wonder if he feels since he can portal and this is like a bridge, like his portaling power, his it's like a bridge from one place to another or like and can get you there. I wonder if he just assumes that he can sense it, that he can like he'd be able to
But
feel it and
this
obviously he
is
can't because it's not
this is
part of
jumping into
his
the
it's not like the night
chapters. But see, this is jumping into like your chapters that you'll go over is he loses his powers during the storm. So I don't think
Yes.
he's ever going to get that like, hey, the portal's here because I think the only time she's gonna find the portal is during a storm. And if it's killing his power, he's not gonna sense it at all.
Yeah.
And then he's like getting all nervous and he asks her if she'd marry him again. Well, he asked her to marry him, and her response was, "Didn't we do that already?" But Grimm's people think of her as a traitor, and her display with Ty's head didn't disprove that point. Even though he deserved being eaten by the snakes for trying to assassinate her, but discontent and suspicion were still growing amongst his people. He wants to have a wedding, but Isla's not sure how it would help because his court hates her. But they doubt her commitment to him, to them, and think that she's a spy from Lightlark, which she kind of is. I mean, she's kind of like playing him right now, so technically they're not wrong.
Yeah.
Uh, but Grim believes like the ceremony would be a unified front, and he believes that a small distraction will benefit for all of them. But she is afraid that Oro would hate her if the news of another wedding reached him. But at the same time, she wanted him to forget her because loving him would ruin him. So she agrees to have the wedding. And I hope we get a chapter if it happens. Like, give me the wedding.
Yeah.
I can't miss out on it twice.
Right. So, okay, going into the next chapter, we have our girl dreaming of snakes.
I didn't like
Ooh,
this one.
I didn't either. I didn't like the next couple, honestly, if we're being honest.
I didn't mind.
Definitely not this one.
I
Definitely
didn't
not.
mind the
I feel like
storm.
this one was a filler chapter, I think, but
I don't like the girl.
I don't know.
I don't like the
I
girl.
do and I don't. I do and I don't.
I didn't like it.
But so she's dreaming of snakes. She's dreaming they were slithering across her skin, that she was drowning in them, dreamed they were wrapping around her throat. No, thank you at all. And thinking back to what was said, follow the snakes, she gets out of bed, changes her clothes, and gets grabs her daggers. She's getting really restless still, like even more that the storm hasn't happened in a hot minute. And she bides her time waiting for one by going out every night and basically hunting the bad guys, or at least making sure that things stay under control. She can step in when she needs to, kind of like their own little Nightshade vigilante, I guess. Then so she's got her favorite perch, and somebody has been leaving her little gifts, pastries, um, things like that as offerings, which she never eats because she feels that it's a trap, that they're poisonous, and everything's a setup. That is when so one night she goes, she's sitting on top of her perch and everything, and we meet, and I pronounced it Saoirse because I have no idea how to pronounce it. But she is one of the women that she had saved, and she was the one leaving the little offerings to Isla as a thank you, which I thought was sweet and stuff, but also very dangerous because
Yes.
she seems like a very naive person. But it's also, I think, sweet that she's like, okay, here comes this badass chicken here. She's out saving us. She's taking care of business, you know. So Saoirse wants Isla to train her. And of course, Isla tries to refuse, and she ultimately gives in, hands Saoirse a dagger, walks her through what she should do in situations with the agreement that she doesn't come back again. But come on. Did we really think she wasn't going to idolize Isla at
Right.
all and just stop showing up? She continues to come back night after night, bringing her little treats each time, saying that she's there to help her. And there's this little bar, I think across the street or just somewhere close by, maybe down below somewhere. Um, so they go in, and she's got her face hidden. She's got a scarf on. She doesn't want to be recognized because we already know that Nightshade is not her biggest fan whatsoever. I thought some shit was gonna go down when they
Oh,
walked
yeah.
into the bar and like everybody got quiet, all eyes were on her. And she just like got super fearful that everybody recognized her right away. And then Saoirse's just like, don't pay attention to them. They're just all in all of your presence. And it's like, excuse like, she's got fans. Like,
Yeah.
everybody loves her. One of the bar patrons calls her Heart Ripper, and she assumes that it's because of her method of killing and says that she really needs to switch it up. And somebody else thanks her for everything that she's done. And then um Isla continues to go on her stakeouts every night, and then every night Saoirse never keeps her word, continues to return and sit with her. They go back to the bar several times when Isla finally asks her why she comes there every night to the bar, and she tells Isla that she's hoping to find a sort of family somewhere. They all know each other, they have meetings to try and make the town better, to make their future better. They're all joined by a purpose, and that can actually be stronger than blood, which I thought was a really cool way
Mhm.
of like putting that. So then Isla asks her what she thinks of the ruler. And she tells her that she thinks he's fair. He's a lot fairer than his father or any of the rulers before, from what she had heard. Whenever there is a sort of
Mhm.
problem, he's always the first one there. He doesn't send anybody else.
I
During the
think
curses, he even built the tunnels with his power, making sure everybody was
mhm.
safe and had enough provisions. He would hand deliver them. Like, I mean, he just, he was that person that put himself or didn't put himself first to stay hidden between everything. Like, he put
This is
them
the
first.
part that I liked of this chapter. Like the only part I liked is like they
Yeah.
praised
Yeah.
him for everything he's done for them.
Yep. And
Like
it just also,
he's not the heartless
yeah.
monster that people are making him
It
out to be.
Yep, and it also goes to show more of what she fell in love with. As much as she
Mhm.
wants to deny, he's a demon, he's horrible. He's just, he's not a good person. Like, this is like, hold my beer. Like, I can
Yep.
top your story. Like, I can top what
Mhm.
you think of him and everything. Um so obviously Isla is shocked more than she realizes. She doesn't know why. And it made her think of how he had struggled against the Drex. He took most of the brunt of the attack himself, and he wasn't the type of ruler to hide behind his palace. He put the needs of his people above his own. and he put her above, like, his own, like, it's all he's done. And so now she's back home in her bed or in her room, whatever. And in the middle of the night, Lynx wakes her up for an unexpected guest. She rips back the curtains, and there he is, Oro standing on her balcony or floating outside her window. And he's in, he's on Nightshade.
Big
He's about
mistake.
to fuck around and find out. Like, that's like, because I guarantee you it's not the last time we're gonna see him on Nightshade.
Oh, even like
Like,
the
I don't
last
think he's gonna
chapter.
give up.
Oh no, even after the last chapter that I'll go over, yeah, I don't think he's after everything
No.
that happens in that chapter, like, oh,
Yep. Yeah.
not expecting any of that.
Yeah. Um,
I I lie. I can see it coming from because they were a little iffy with her, but at the same time did not expect it.
yeah. Um, so Isla obviously immediately panics seeing him there. She tries also, as she's panicking, like, she's excited, she's panicked, like, he could be caught any moment.
Hmm.
She also has to try to keep her emotions in check so that way Grim doesn't have any excuse to portal into her room, because he can
Hmm.
easily pick up on her fear, her excitement, like anything that's kind of out of the ordinary. Oro had flown across the world to get to her, taking the chance of being caught, and she asked him twice what he was doing there before he answered, telling her that he felt the bond weaken and he had feared that something had happened to her.
What
So,
caused, I was trying to figure this out, but what would have caused her, like him to feel that bond weaken? Her growing closer to Grim?
blocked
Oh,
her power, so it weakened the bond between them. He didn't have
because
access to her like he did.
okay, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I didn't put
Yeah.
two and two together. I'm a little slow on that, so I'm like, wait a minute, what would have caused?
Yeah, it
Okay,
was it was the bracelets.
makes
So
sense, makes sense.
she shows him them and says that they block her power. She's also shocked that he would fly across the world to make sure she was okay, and he tells her that he didn't trust anyone else to do it, and so she, could hardly believe that he was there. She wanted so bad to throw her arms around him, to kiss him, and she nearly does when the fucking bird starts singing. Talk about a cock block, cuz
But,
some shit was probably gonna happen.
but again, like you had said just a few moments ago, Grim would have felt that.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
then they would have been in deep shit.
Uh-huh.
Deep, deep shit.
Yeah. So now, not only did she have to worry about Grim possibly portaling into her room based on her feelings, that he could pick up on, but now it would be because he could hear it, or he would hear the birds singing at any minute. The singing was getting louder and louder, and she tells Oro that he has to stay there and he has to stay hidden. And before he could protest, she grabs her clothes and her star stick and portals to Grim's room. Of course, he's there in the middle of his room and he's completely surprised that she has just portaled there. She's in her bedtime, like her bedclothes. So she's like half naked. And like he gets excited for a minute and then he's confused because it's like, oh, maybe she wants me. And then, he's confused because he's like, why didn't she just change her fucking clothes in her bedroom? Like, why
Yeah.
is she doing this to me? Um, but she asks him for help to get the buttons, so she can keep him distracted to not want to go to her room. I wonder because it makes the point, or it says like he notices how warm her skin is when he goes to help her with the buttons. So does he kinda sense that something's a little off in that moment, but
Oh.
doesn't necessarily pick up that it's Oro?
Oh, he'll
That
put two and two together in the next chapter. I'm pretty sure he knows because he even tells her, I know, heart, I know. Can mean two different things, two different
yeah.
ways, but I'm pretty sure he knows. I'm pretty sure he knows.
Well,
But he's going to do anything to make her happy, whether it crushes
yeah,
him or not. And that's
yeah.
sad. That's like, that's the sad
It
part.
is. So they get portal to Wraith, and they're flying. Um, it's a starless night. She's worried about Oro and how he could be caught any moment in enemy territory. But she tells Grim that, like he picks up, he's like, he knows she's worried, he can sense it, and she lies to him, tells him that it's because of the storm, it's their best chance at finding the portal. She's happy that it's not Oro because he would have totally picked up on the lie. Um at this point, they've been waiting weeks for a storm to arrive, and he tells her he wished she didn't feel the need to keep so many secrets from him. Again, she panics, thinking that he's talking about Oro, when he tells her that he knows that she went to see the augur, and he knows because he's looked at every option of trying to save her, and he asks her to reconsider using the portal to the other world, but of course, she refuses. She begins to say something, but then she's cut off when her skin prickles and the wind shifts into a different pitch and makes a sharp sound that makes her wince. The sky turns a strange shade of green and purple, whirls forming around them, her ears ringing, and she's fighting to breathe. Then they begin to get attacked by I put shit. Um, Metal coming through the sky, like it's just spitting out small pieces of metal at first, and it was powerful enough to slice through her pants that are supposed to be impenetrable, leaving nicks on her skin. Grim tries to use his power. He has none. And it turns out that the metal is actually like a shade made um metal. Like it just obviously has power blocking abilities. He tries to get them to turn back. He doesn't want to go any further because he has no powers. He's got no way of protecting them. Metal is like slicing into their skin. It's just counteracting everything at this point.
Would it be shooting the Shade Maid down like metal because of her bracelets? Like if because she
Like
reacts
it's
to the storm.
attracted.
Yeah, because she feels that storm like in her heart, like she feels everything because of the power. It's like the power's calling to the power. So is it reacting to her bracelets on her wrist?
I
And
don't
that's
know.
what's causing the Shade
Or
Maid?
she's connected to whatever's creating the storms.
It's the portal. We can only assume it's the portal.
Maybe she's connected to it more than what we really like. Maybe
She
when
should
you
have
had
took the
said
orb.
that it's something, um, what word?
The orb Baron gave her.
Oh,
Baron
yeah.
gave her that orb to determine if something was shade made or otherworldly.
Mhm.
He infused it or imbued it with, I think, some of his powers or whatever, like what
Yeah.
he can do. But I wonder though if that storm reacted though to her bracelets in a sense.
Could be. Um, so he wants to turn back. She doesn't want to. She has to use the ring so that way they can find the portal. She gets Grim to tell Wraith to go higher. After much hesitation, he agrees to it, but it gets worse and worse the higher they go. The metal gets bigger. It's just I don't know. It's all really bad. Bunch of shit fucking
Mm-hmm.
happens. He refuses to go any higher, so she uses the ring, and the storm gets attracted to it, blinds her for a few seconds, and then It worked. Another strike hits them and it propels Wraith through the air. The metal starts getting bigger and bigger even more. Grim tries to shield her and take the brunt of it the way that he had done in the cave, but it wasn't enough and they propel downward and she loses her grip on the ring. And she
I
fucking
know.
loses it. I was like, whew. Um, she wants to dive off and go after it, but Grim pulls her back and she wants to land so they can find it. And then just as she thinks she might be able to use her necklace to trap a piece of the storm, there is this giant fucking beast that is
Mm.
creating what she thinks at first is flames, but then she sees that it is lightning. And 1 minute they're in the sky and the next they are falling.
And that's where that one ended, right?
Yep.
All right, because then in this next chapter, we pick up, she's falling. Her chest is burning right where Lightlark had marked her. So something with her heart, the heart of Lightlark, and her blood and powers, something's connecting them all with this storm, in my opinion. And that's what woke her up as she was falling out of the sky. Wraith was able to catch both her and Grim, tucking them into his wings until they crashed like a shooting star. When Isla came to, she was coughing up salt water. Grim got his power back just in time to portal them into the sea for the impact. Wraith, he was alive but injured. His wings had gotten torn and bloody, shredded from the scraps of metal flying. There was a star-like mark on his neck where the lightning had struck. The storm, though, was now over and the creature was gone. Once Wraith was back in the stables, Isla told Grim to get the wildling elixir to heal him, but Grim wanted to tend to her first. Aura was waiting for her in her room, so she told Grim to just portal them to his room and she'll use the star stick to get back to hers and clean up. The moment she was back in her room, she was wrapped up in Oro's arms, and she is, in my opinion, she is playing a very, very dangerous game with the two of them. Again,
Yeah.
she is leading them both on. She just needs to pick one or pick neither. Again, I am Team Grim, but if she picks neither, figure yourself out first. Like, learn to control your emotions. Learn what you are before you drag somebody else in.
Yeah.
Because now, like, this next section is like a big mess. A big mess now. Aura wanted to know what happened, but Isla thought there was no time to explain before Grim came looking for her. But Aura wanted Isla to go back with him for good. He tells her, and quote, I know you think you being here is the only way to save Lightlark. I know you did it for us, but you cannot be the cost of this. I won't let you be. There has to be another way. But Isla does tell him that there isn't because if Grim dies, she dies, and so does all of Nightshade. And she didn't put in there that technically the wildlings die and possibly because we don't know much about starlings yet, but as of right now, she still controls starlings. So you're talking about 3 realms. Because I don't know how it would work with the distance between them. Like if she was to die away from Oro, if Oro could still save the other realms. But we can only assume that it's gonna, if she dies, she takes them with her. So Oro then just suggests about maybe imprisoning Grim so no one has to die. But Isla's dying soon. We did find out that, she only has till the end of the storm season, so the end of winter. Isla knew Aura wouldn't stop fighting for her, even though he should. She was poisoning him. A voice in her head was telling her to break him, make sure he hates her. Her heart was breaking for different reasons, but when Aura's hand swept down her face and to her neck, he drops them almost like the necklace burned him. And I wonder if that means something. Or if that's just his, like, the way he pulls back is like, oh, she's still married. Like, she's
Yeah.
still bound to him. And then this is where things start to take a turn. Let me get a drink real quick. God damn. He noticed her daggers in the corner of the room, and she didn't have a chance to clean them, so there was still blood on them. So she tells Oro that she uses them to kill people. She puts them through their hearts, and she enjoys it. And again, this is the side that Oro is not liking at all. And she smiles as the life leaves their eyes. He didn't want to believe her, and he tells her, I don't recognize you, love. Well, you don't let her be her. Like you don't let her be that Nightshade side. He like talks her out of it. He only wants the wildling side of her. And again, that's why I don't think her and Oro is the best match. Because he's gonna want her to hide the other half of who she truly is.
Yeah.
So taking her star stick, Isla portals them back to his room. She wanted to stay and crawl back into their bed. Oro sees the look on her face and told her she didn't have to go back. She could stay and they would find a way around it. She had a choice, but Isla made her choice and decides to hand him back the gold rose necklace. In his eyes, she saw unfiltered pain. She had broken his heart. And then Zed walks into the room, and the moment he spots her, what?
It's a fucking douchebag.
And I get it, like he's protecting his friend. But Zed walks in the room. The moment he spots her, he didn't hesitate to grab in his bow, with 3 arrows pointed at her, and he moved so quick. He had one at her head, her heart, and stomach. Oro went to block them with his shield, but one managed still to hit. One was sticking through her stomach. I didn't really go into detail, but Oro had him like pinned to the ground, I believe. He was very pissed, asking Zed what did he do, but Zed's only reply was what you wouldn't do. So we can only assume from this passage that after Isla left, that they were all talking to him like, you got to do something. She's the traitor. Just kill her. Like, get rid of her and Grim is
Yeah.
gonna be what I assume is a conversation after she left them all. Because there was no regret in his eyes as he shot at her. Oro went to help her, calling the water to heal her and pulling out the arrow, but Isla knew she couldn't stay there any longer. So she tells Oro she made her choice and she's marrying him again. It wasn't changing and to not look for her, which I don't believe that's the end of him. I truly don't. So she portals herself back to the Wildling Keep, and then she collapsed with Grim instantly by her side. He wanted to know who did this to her, and I thought this was sweet because he tells her if it was anybody that she cared about to not say a word because nothing would stop him from wiping their existence out. And even though he tried killing her, she wouldn't give up who it was. Although I'm pretty sure he knows. Positive he knows. And that's why he said what he said. There was only one vial of healing elixir left, but she wanted it to be used on Wraith and not her. So Graham said that he'd heal her himself. Zed attacking her shouldn't have shocked her, but she was still surprised that he did that. And the betrayal felt more painful than the wound itself, but she brought this upon herself. She truly brought this upon herself. She did still grieve Oro because they could never be together. There was no going back from the fact his friends hated her enough to kill her. And I didn't put this in here, but I had brought it up earlier because it could go 2 different ways. But it was stated that there was something cold against her skin, pricking it, breaking it, redoing the stitches that were already there, the ones that had broken because she had left before he could finish. Grim had to know who made them. He had to know, and it had to be killing him. And then she's thrashing in his arms as he was sewing her skin back together. So his snow cold hands were running down her back, and he says, "I know, heart. I know. So that could go to two different ways. It could go that he knows who did the stitches and she's like as he was replacing them, like so she didn't have to come out and tell him, or he's saying that he knows that it's painful because he had to pretty much get rid of what was there and redo it.
Yeah.
Um I could see it going both ways. He has to know. Like I just he has to know. Like I don't know. And if he doesn't, then he's got some blinders on because he knows for a fact that it's not going to be Cleo doing it.
Yeah.
That's my take though on that. And at this point, again, Team Grimm all the way, but she just needs to set them both free for now. Get your shit together and see who you want more. Worry about what's happening between the two realms and saving your life.
Yeah.
And then maybe rethink of who you want to get to know a little better and be with. In my opinion. Did you have anything?
No, I just
I need more.
I know, me too.
All right, so thank you for watching or listening to Chapters Over Coffee, where two sisters discuss a series. Next week, we're doing pages 151 through 198, and I did get the pages right this time. So don't forget to join us next Tuesday.